going on, guys? LT- here, and today I'm going to be showing you my guide for what I like to call the C4 Monk because it blows shit up. So yeah, this is Season 4, Patch 2.3 on the public test realm. Do not try to find these items online because you will not succeed and just look very foolish in the process. So yes, this build focuses on 7-sided strike and exploding palm, combining these two to damn near give anything in your way. You can even go up to like a greater Rift 35 and still one-shot the Rift Guardian. Now, items you're gonna need to make this build work, and there are a lot of them, trust me. Mainly is the Yolana's set, a new set in Season 4. 2-piece set. Our spirit generators apply exploding palm. 4-piece set. 7-sided strike deals its total damage with each hit. That means that instead of 5,000 over 7 hits, it's 5,000 every hit. You combine that with the new monk weapon, the Lion's Claw, and that's 5,000 damage over 14 hits. And the 6-piece set, which makes this build really crazy for damage. 7-sided strike now detonates your exploding palm. When you combine that with items like Madstone, your 7-sided strike applies exploding palm, and Gungdo gear, these names though. Exploding palms on death explosion applies exploding palm. It becomes an ongoing reset. More items that you're going to need to make this work are obviously Lion's Claw, essential. Ingoem, however the hell you pronounce that. Your skill cooldowns are reduced by 9 seconds for 15 seconds after killing an elite pack. These are the items you're going to need to make this work. And transmute, you're going to 100% need the Flow of Eternity. This allows us to have 7-sided strike on a perma, no, like 0-second cooldown after we've killed an elite. Even without killing an elite, we can see the cooldown for 7-sided strike is still ridiculously low, about 2 seconds at that. The Oric's Crown, not 100% necessary. If you want to transmute Madstone and wear the set piece helmet, that's fine as well. Ring of Royal Grandeur, again, not 100% necessary. If you want to put in a unity or a conversion of elements or whatever, that's fine. I'm purely using this because I want to get as much cooldown as possible. I've probably gone over the soft cap or whatever. But these are the transmutes and items that I'm wearing. The necklace doesn't really matter. If you can get a Hellfire necklace for decent passive, great. If not, then one of the prevention amulets will work just as well. Gems I'm using. Obviously, PTR has been plagued with long queue times and determination bugs, so I haven't had a chance to really get some decent gems. But I would recommend using the new gem, which is the Bane of the Stricken. Each attack against the enemy increases the damage it takes by your attacks by 3.5. Obviously that increased the more you upgrade it. Rift Guardians and bosses take 25% increased damage. That's a huge buff. The rest are interchangeable, I'd say. Bane of the Traps is always a good gem on monks. But at the moment I'm just using Bane of the Powerful. Increased damage against 15% on elites. So that's 40% increased damage when you combine it with that. Other gems you could use is Gogox, Stone of Swiftness, Pain Enhance is always good. Mess around with it. I mean, the gems are not 100% set in stone, for me at least. That's it for item-wise. Paragon levels, make sure your movement speed capped because we're going to be moving in and out, kiting a little bit when 7-sided strike isn't off cooldown because we are quite squishy. Pump the rest into dexterity, offensive, cooldown reduction, and critical hit chance. If you've already hit a cap, or if you feel that you need stats other than cooldown reduction, and critical hit chance and critical hit damage are essential. Defense, resist all, life or armor, whatever you feel you need more of. Utility doesn't really that matter. Area damage or resource cost reduction I've gone for just to crank out some more 7-sided strikes. Skills, our bread and butter for the whole operation. Primary doesn't really matter. We're just going to be using this to proc, restraint, and focus, which is our rings that we're using, by the way. I've got Fist of Thunder for the teleportation. Techniques, I've got Exploding Palm. Now, the thing about this set is that you don't actually need to have Exploding Palm on your skills for Exploding Palm to spread. But if you don't, it will be a non-runed exploding palm. So for that reason, I've got Impending Doom just to get the most damage potential out of this build. And the bread and butter of the build, 7-sided strike. Obviously, this is no, introduction. Dash rapidly between nearby enemies, dealing 5,677 weapon damage over 7 strikes. Obviously, that'll be doing 5,677 every time we hit someone. Runes, sustained attack. This is what makes us get pretty much, perma spam on 7-sided strikes. Dancing strike, doesn't really matter what rune you use here. I use the movement speed because obviously when I'm not 7-sided strikes, I want to stay out of poisons, electricity, or just hits in general. Epiphany and Desert Shroud, you need this because you are going to be really squishy, and ironically enough, this will be our main spirit generator when we are spamming 7-sided strike after we kill an elite pack. Mantra, Salvation and Perseverance, we need to get as much defense as we can. Passive skills, now these are interchangeable depending on what you're doing. If you're doing a rift, I prefer to have more damagey things and movement speed, so I'll go for momentum and maybe fleet footed. In rifts or T10, I got a little bit more defensive. I've gone for momentum because we're going to be kiting back and forth, so that 20% extra damage, more damage, can't help. Near death experience, great for if we do end up, fucking up and dying. Beacon of Yitar, I'm not 100% sure this is necessary because I'm not sure what the soft cap or hard cap or cooldown reduction is. I mean, with this, wearing a Grandeur and Lyric's Crown, I should be hitting around 50%. Plus, with the 60% cooldown reduction from Flow of Eternity, I'm well over 100%. So I'm not sure if this is necessary, but I like to have it just in case because who wants to do maths, right? And the fourth one, Harmony. 40% of our single elemental resistance from items instead increases your resistance to all elements. A really good passive skill to have. Now, the first one's interchangeable. If you feel like you're taking too much damage, then swap out for maybe Resolve or Sixth Sense or something to give you a bit more survivability. Now, this build is capable of doing I've done up to Greater Rift 49 with about 20 seconds to spare, but the sheer amount of damage that this build can do was the reason why I was managed to kill Rift Guardian in about 20 seconds. It just does so much damage. This build is also tier 10 capable. You can go through tier 10 rifts quite easily. I will put a video of me doing a tier 10 rift in, I'll frame it in editing or whatever, and you can just click on that and watch the video and see how that does in tier 10. But now we're going to be doing a Greater Rift 40 just to give you an idea of how the build goes. So there you go, guys. You now know the items, you now know the skills that I use, the transmutes that I have, and the gems that I have socketed. Next time I'll be doing the primary build, which focuses more on just using one skill, which will be your spirit generators. I don't really like it, but apparently it's going to be the next OP, so we'll cover that in another video, and I hope you enjoyed this one. I'm not going to tell you to like and subscribe, because you're your own independent black woman, and I can't tell you to do shit. Peace out. Strange has none of that. There's no comic, there's no TV show to give us an idea whatsoever what the game will be like. So, is the first episode good enough to entice me to buy the other episodes? In the words of Walter White,
you're goddamn right.